Hey guys, happy Sunday to you. I wanted to pop in and make a video because I was actually watching Herlonda's recent video last night, and she was asking for a little bit of advice on, well, silicone babies. So I thought I would make a video for her, and she's asking like the do's and don'ts because she's been bitten by the silicone bug. I got a good chuckle out of it the way she was explaining it. It was really cute, Herlonda. But yes, I totally understand the whole getting bit by the silicone bug because there was once upon a time when I was in my collecting of just reborns before I got into silicone, and I would have thought I would never have ever started collecting silicones. I thought they were just too much work. It just seemed like it was too delicate. I don't know. I was completely not into silicone when I first started collecting, when they first came out. And so, I don't know what got me interested in them, other than I think that it just grew on me and I saw more and more babies that were more and more lifelike. Because the early silicones weren't painted very realistically. They were more like blushed versus having any depth like a reborn would have. There was a time in my collecting life that I really didn't think that anything could be better than a reborn. So now that I have been collecting silicone, I can tell you that it is my favorite medium by far. I love all mediums. I enjoy all different kinds of doll mediums. I have a one of a kind by Linda Webb that I will probably never part with. She is probably one of my all-time favorite dolls. But I don't play with her. I don't dress her. I don't handle her. Um, and I enjoy reborns because reborns you can handle. They can withstand a lot more handling and changing of clothes and things like that, um, without damaging them. And then, of course, silicones. I think for me, most of my money will always be invested in silicone dolls, more for the fact that they are now painted with the most realism. I think with the right artist, you can find the most depth, like as if they're painted like they have blood pumping through their veins. Like they look like they have veins underneath their skin and they feel soft and they melt in your arms. And that's the one thing you can't get from a reborn. When you touch the vinyl, it's, not soft. Even the softest vinyls, they're not soft to the touch. And when you carry them around or if you pick them up and hold them, they don't melt in your arms. They are soft and cuddly, yes, because they're soft body. But for the most part, you're not going to get that realism like living skin as you will with a silicone that's painted in a beautiful, wonderful way. So this video is just some do's and don'ts, things that I would encourage you to do if you're looking into buying your first silicone. Things you should know. And at the time when I first started collecting, I wish someone had, put out something that I would have been able to follow, just some, things, food for thought, I guess you could say, because I had to learn the very, very expensive way of what I liked and what I didn't like, especially with artists. I will tell you that there are a lot of silicone artists out there right now making dolls, but I don't think that they're all high quality. And I would hate to see people invest their money in a doll that they won't be happy with. So the disclaimer for silicone dolls, if you've never seen one in person or felt one, is they're not perfect. Even the very best artist out there does not make a perfect silicone because it doesn't exist. It's a very temperamental type of medium. And I've actually had a conversation with Romy Stridham about the fact that silicone is very temperamental. So there's a lot to it. So even the best artists, when you're pulling a doll out of the mold, you may find slight imperfections because that's just part of the medium. So if you're the type of collector that is very bothered by, small imperfections here and there, that silicone might not be your medium. That's something to take into consideration because as much of a perfectionist, I can't speak today clearly, as much as I am a perfectionist in my doll collecting, I do realize this about silicones, that they are not going to be 100% smooth, perfect like a silicone doll because they're not produced in a mass quantity. They are done by hand, one at a time, and it is temperamental. And I appreciate that it is that. And I also know the artists that have the least imperfections in their silicone, and those are my favorite artists, which you hear me talk about Claire Taylor. I think she is a master at silicone dolls. I think she's the very best on the market. There are others that are, comparable to hers, but I still think by far, for me, she is my favorite silicone artist. I think she has as close to perfected the silicone making as anyone can get at this point. And she also paints such depth and lifelikeness into her dolls that I think they're even more realistic, way more realistic than a vinyl doll. The best reborns compared to the way Claire paints, I think Claire by far just hands down. The depth is there of realism. It looks like they have blood pumping through their veins, which is what I'm searching for when I'm investing that amount of money in a doll. Now, second up is my second favorite artist would be Romy Stridham. I think that she also has mastered the art of silicone doll making. I think that her babies are very close to Claire's in quality, and the depth that she's able to achieve when she paints them, also very, very alive looking. So, those are the two artists that I have found over the years that tend to have the least amount of imperfections in their silicone as well. Not that they're perfect. I'm going to tell you that right up front. So, if you're, like I said, if you're expecting a perfect doll, don't get into silicone. But I will tell you that the best way to see if you do like silicone and experience it without having to buy it is to get yourself to a doll show. That's going to be the best way, because you're going to see a range of silicone doll artists at these shows, and you can see what they're like. You can maybe even hold one, but you can see one up close and personal, see how they're painted, and it'll also give you an idea of what artists you think you like, because every artist paints in a different way. That's the thing with silicone, and it's the same way as like reborns. They all paint in their own way. They all have their own style, and just because I like Claire Taylor dolls doesn't mean everybody's going to love Claire Taylor dolls. That's really truly how it is. We all have our different preferences. But for me, those are, Claire Taylor paints amazing. Romy Stridham, amazing. Those are my favorites. And then, there are many others out there that you may find that you really like. So the first thing, Herlonda, that you're going to want to think about is truly do your research. Read up about each artist, see what faces that you like that they create, because a lot of it is you fall in love with the face. And that's a big part of it for me. And then do your research and see if they've got any feedback on them of what people think of the silicone. Price-wise, figure out what price you're looking for. There's going to be a range I'm sure you're going to want to stay within, especially for a full body, because they are more expensive. And, ask other collectors that have these particular dolls by the artists that you choose to like. I know you mentioned Claire's, and hey man, I'm a firm believer. If you're going to go with a full body silicone, you're going to go all in. Going for a Claire Taylor baby is going to be your best bet, but it is going to be more expensive. But then you can talk to other collectors about, what they think of their dolls by that artist. That way you've got some feedback and, things that you can, think about and ponder before you invest your money in them. So, the big thing is that silicones do need some extra care. I mean, people have made many, many videos about how to care for your silicone baby. I will tell you that Claire Taylor's dolls are probably the least time consuming, or they need the least amount of care. You don't have to powder them. You don't have to do a whole lot with them other than and they're durable. Okay, there's another one, durability, because all silicone is not created equal. Claire's babies by far, I would say, are the most durable. Romy Stridham's are also very, very durable, but any silicone doll, if not handled properly, can tear. So it's just about handling them carefully. I mean, it's just common sense to me that you don't roughly handle any doll, even a vinyl doll, because you can always damage them if you're rough enough. But that's the big thing, is you'll, pick an artist that you think you're going to be happy with, do some research on how durable their silicone is, and how much care will be involved with each, because some silicones do need constant powdering. Some are very sticky. It really depends on the artist. I've experienced the full gamut of all of that, from super sticky, collects every piece of lint and hair known to man in the air, all the way up to having Claire's babies who need absolutely no maintenance whatsoever. You can dress them, you can handle them, you can love them and enjoy them, and they don't get damage done to them. They can withstand a lot more handling than a lot of other artists' dolls out there. That's my take on it, because I've collected enough of them to know which ones that I feel confident that I can handle without doing damage to them. So that's really important. But you also have to find something that works within your price range. When you figure out how much you're going to want to be able to spend, that's when you're going to see what you can actually get with that amount of money. And buying from the secondary market, it's a very great way to get a full body silicone baby for a lesser price, because coming directly from the artist, you're going to pay the most for it. And I would say that if you're not a member of the Doll Fan Forum, you may want to become a member, because that's a great way to find some really good quality full body silicone dolls on the secondary market, and they're from trustworthy people. That's where I would probably trust buying from the most, because there's feedback given on there, so you can look up the seller's feedback, if they've sold other dolls, if they've been reputable. And that's going to be a big one, because it's a big investment. And if you're buying from the secondary market, you want to make sure you're buying from a reputable person that's not going to sell you something that's super damaged or having issues. You want to be able to have a confident sale in your first purchase of a full silicone body doll. So that would be probably my best advice to you. And if you have questions along the way, I know that most other collectors that are on YouTube are wonderful at answering questions. Most of us are happy to share what information we do have about certain dolls. So reach out to any of us, and I'm sure we'd be happy to share our knowledge with you. I would be very happy to give you my take on, different dolls and my experience with them. So that's kind of the biggest thing. If you said between 2 and 4 years is your goal to get a new full body silicone doll, your first. And I would say that's plenty of time to do your research and find out what really, what you might fancy, I suppose. And then ask around. And if you can get to a doll show in between then, or have a dolly meet up with someone that has a silicone doll that you can see and experience, I would highly recommend it. I think that's the best way to experience it without paying out of pocket to see if you like the medium. Because like I said, it's not a medium for everybody. And I hate to see someone invest a lot of money and then be completely unhappy because they just don't like the medium. Some people just simply don't like it. They don't like the feel of it. But it also depends. I've had some really great quality silicone dolls feel absolutely amazing, and I've also felt ones that are not as high quality silicone. They feel more rubbery, and that's not my thing. I don't care for those at all, which is why they didn't stay in my nursery. There's been dolls that come and go that you guys have never seen because I've never shared it, because I just didn't care for the silicone, so I didn't keep it. But yeah, that's a good place to start. Lots of research. Find what you love. Find what you think is going to be a good investment. And I wouldn't count on making it, I say investment, but it is an investment. But we don't generally ever make all our money back on these babies when we resell them. So if it's something that, you're looking to make an investment to, make money on, it's definitely not the way to go, because it's unlikely that that'll happen. Same with reborns. We pay such a high price for them, and then we resell them. We never get our money back out of them. But we do it because we love it, right? So, yeah. So that's pretty much my take on it. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. I'd be happy to share what I know about different artists with you. And like I said, I'm sure there are other collectors on YouTube that'll be happy to share some information as well. And I say good luck to you. I think that you're going to find something that will suit you, and I'm very excited to see who you might decide to bring home at some point in time. And yeah, that'll be fun. All right, guys. I hope you have a great Sunday, and we'll see you all soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.